to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where today we're going to be taking a look at one of my favourite things in the world, and that is a handcrafted killer Sudoku. Now this one's by Memrista, and it's called Pinch Yourself. I don't know why, as usual, but this has been recommended to us by people like Jovial, and she is a very, very fine judge of puzzles indeed, so we should be in for an absolute treat. And I'll read you the rules of this one in just a moment. I've got a couple of things to mention first today. I want to talk to Ender first. Now, Ender, I think today it is your 7th birthday. Am I right? Well, if it is, I want to wish you a very, very happy birthday. I hope you've had a super time. And I can tell you that Mark and I are absolutely thrilled to hear that somebody who was obviously, you were 6 yesterday, and now 7, is following the channel with interest. That warms our hearts. So thank you very much for watching, and and thanks to your mum Crystal as well for letting us know it was your birthday. Now I've also got to say another happy birthday, this time to Dan. Now Dan's in the Netherlands, and your girlfriend Floor wrote to us and said that you've been getting into the channel recently and really enjoying the videos too. So I wanted to say happy birthday to you as well. So we have lots of birthday wishes for the day after Valentine's Day, and we're only too happy to do birthday shout outs. Other than that, I've got to say thank you to Riff Clown as well. Riff Clown is responsible for the outro music in today's video. He sent us that a couple of days ago, and both Mark and I thought it was brilliant. So yeah, it's going in there. Let us know in a comment what you think. Maybe it'll be the new theme music to Cracking the Cryptic. You never know. Well, that's all the news. So let's get on with solving, shall we? The rules are as follows for this one. You'll know if you're familiar with Killer Sudoku, but basically normal Sudoku rules apply. In cages, digits must sum to the small clue in the top left corner of the cage if given, and digits cannot repeat within a cage. Oh, the if given thing. Ah, okay. There is an unvalued cage at the bottom, which is presumably there to make it look... Is it there to make it look symmetrical? I'm not sure. Yeah, the grid... It's sort of symmetrical. It's not quite symmetrical, is it, around this diagonal? I don't know why that's there. That's really weird. If I find out, I will put a card on the screen. But that is very interesting indeed. Pinch yourself. It must be something to do with the theme somehow. But obviously, because this cage is within a box of the Sudoku, all the digits in this cage must be different. So the actual information we're being given as a solver by the inclusion of this cage is denada. It's nothing at all. So interesting. All right. Anyway, so how do the other cages work? Well, let's look at this cross in the top left-hand corner. These 5 cells have to add up to 26. Those 3 cells there have to sum up to 10. And they all have to be different digits. So that's actually the only cage, I think, that does cross a box boundary. So what we couldn't do here is go 2, 2, 6. Well, no, that's a silly example because there's 2 here. We couldn't go 3, 3, 4. Because although these cells do add up to 10, we repeat 3 in the cage, and that's illegal, so don't do it. Do have a go at the puzzle. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. Now I get to play. Let's get cracking. I'm worried about this cage. I'm worried that whoever's put the puzzle into the software has left me out a digit there, and this is all going to be futile, but we shall see. I shall do my best. We've got an 18 cage and a 15 cage in that box, so we can use the secret a little bit. Now the secret is something I only tell my favourite people, and you're one of my favourite people, so I will tell you it. And that's that any complete box of a Sudoku will, because of the rules of Sudoku, contain the digits 1 to 9 once each. Now if you add up the digits 1 to 9, you get 45, and that's the secret. And that allows us to deduce the value of those 2 cells, because 15 plus 18 is 33, 45 minus 33 is 12, so those 2 cells add up to 12. And if you're thinking that's useless, you'd be right. I can't see what to do with it anyway. Oh, Right, let's use the secret on... No, it doesn't work on box 1 either. I was wondering if we could do the same sort of thing on box 1. We've got a 26 cage plus a 9, that's 35. So these 3 cells have to add up to 10. But that's got options as well. 27 cage, does that need to have a 9 in it? Yes, it does. Yeah, 8, 7, 6 plus 5 only adds up to 26. So we can pencil mark a 9 into there, which means that we get 9 in one of 3 places in box 4. Oh, no, I can do better. Look, just do Sudoku, Simon. That square's got to be a 9. There's a 9 in row 9 already. So 9's in one of these 3 cells as well. So if 9 was in the 17 cage, there would have to be a 1 in the 17 cage as well, because the other 3 digits would add up to 8. And 8 in 3 cells needs a 1 if the digits can't repeat. Oh, right, okay, that cell's a 9 as well. Look, we've got a 28 cage in the top right-hand side. That's definitely got to have a 9 in it, so there's a 9 here. 9 in one of those 3. 9 in one of these 3. Oh, so me and Marista's been quite generous, actually. These 9s are all but gimmies. Oh, it's not Phistomefel, is it? I'm just looking at my pencil mark 9s and thinking about the Phistomefel ring. And also these 2x2s in the corner. It might be. I'll mention it just quickly. I won't do anything with it yet. But look, there is a theorem in Sudoku that tells you that those 16 digits there are the identical digits to the 16 cells that appear in the corner of a grid. Works for any Sudoku. And it is provable, and I've proved it many times before. But I'm just wondering... Well, no, I think it's actually just the corollary of the 9s we've got in the grid, so I'm not sure whether that's necessary. We'll bear it in mind as we go through the solve, if we can go through the solve. I'm not actually spotting anything else at the moment. 28... no, okay, you need an 8 in this cage as well. And you need an 8 because 5 plus 6 plus 7 is only adding up to 18. So this cage, if it didn't have an 8 in it, could only reach the grand total of 27. And 27 is less than 28, so that wouldn't work. 10 cage in the middle of the grid without a 2, that does need a 1 in it. Because 3 plus 4 plus 5 adds up to 12. Ah, okay, that might be interesting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's all sorts of things going on with 9s as a result. It's really bizarre, actually. That's really quite beautiful. So the fact that there's a 1 in this triple ordinarily wouldn't have caught my attention, but I can see now that it's not possible for there to be 9s in both this 16 cage and this 17 cage, because I said it before, the 17 cage would need a 1 in it if there's a 9 in it, and the 16 cage would definitely need a 1 in it if there's a 9 in it. And if you put 1s in both of those 2x2s, now you can't put a 1 in here. And the reason you can't put a 1 in here is, well, it's facetious if you think about it, but how many 1s are we expecting there to be in column 4 of the grid? Well, because of the rules of Sudoku, we're expecting only 1 1. How many 1s are we expecting in column 5? Well, again, only 1 1. So in columns 4 and 5 together, there are going to be 2 1s in the finished puzzle. And if we worked out there was a 1 in there and a 1 in there, if there was a 1 in here as well, that would be a third 1 in 2 columns, and that is not going to work. So I think this means something, because that means that one of these 2 cells must now be a 9, because we know that we can't put the 9s into those cells. Now, if one of these cells is a 9, we can ask whether 9 goes in the middle box, and it has to go in this domino. It definitely can't go in a 3-cell 10 cage, so there is no 9 in these cells, and 9 is locked in to the 18 cage and the 19 cage, which also, well, Okay, there's something going on now with 1s and 2s, I think, in these cages. I haven't quite got my head around this yet, but this cage needs 3 cells that add up to 9. But in selecting those digits, we have to be careful not to make the 3 cells that add up to 10 in the 19 cage impossible to fill. I'm just trying to think about whether or not I can, like, if the way that we reached the 3 cell 9 total here was 1, 2 and 6, all of the 1s and 2s would be used up in row 4 and row 5. And that would mean that this cage couldn't contain any 1s and 2s, so along with the 9 it would have a minimum of 3, 4 and 5, which would take this cage total to 21, which is not possible. So the way that this 9, the extra 9 is made up here, is either 2, 3, 4 or 1, 3, 5. So I've now proved there is a 3 in this cage. And one of the digits, 1 and 2, can't appear in the 19 cage. Because if this is 2, 3, 4, we've got the 2 2s in rows 4 and 5. If this is 1, 3, 5, we've got the 2 1s. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. Hang on a minute, let me just think about this. 2, 3, 4 locks 2 out of here. So I have to put a 1 in there, and then 2 digits that would add up to 9 that are not 2, 7. But they could be 3, 6. They couldn't be 1, 8 because I put a 1 in there in order to get to my total of 10 now. 4, 5 might be okay. Yeah, I'm not quite getting this, but there is some sort of restriction between these 2x2s. And actually, I'm not sure that I've exhausted all the logic in columns 4 and 5, because I've been thinking about it in the context of these 2x2s, which definitely are restricted. But if we think about these 2x2s, we're actually heading towards lower totals here. So this 10 cage has got a 1 in it. It's got 2 more cells in it that add up to 9 that are not 2, 7 or 1, 8. So this has either got 3, 6 in it or 4, 5 in it. And one of these 2 cages has a 9 in it. Whichever one has a 9 in it has to have a 1 in it. So the other cage, the other one of these cages, cannot have a 1 in it. But it doesn't have a 9 in it. So what about the 2s? That's what I'm wondering about. So if you put a 9 in here, and this was 1, 2, 4 as well as 9, which it would have to be, you couldn't put a 1 or a 2 in the 17 cage. So the 17 cage would be made up of digits at least 3. 3, 4, 5 and 6 is 18. That doesn't work. Good grief. Well, that's it. That's it. We've done it. So we've done it. We went round the houses to do it, but we have now done it. So we can't put a 9 in the 16 cage, because to do that would lock 1 and 2 out of the 17 cage and would force us to go up beyond the total of 17 with the available digits. So there is no 9 here. There is a 9 here. There is no 9 here. There is a 9 in my 17 cage now. So my 17 cage has got a 1 in it, which means my 16 cage does not have a 1 in it. And my 16 cage must have a 2 in it, because otherwise I'm going to break the total even worse than I broke the 17 total. So there is definitely a 2 in my 16 cage. So there's no. So now our 2s are used up for columns 4 and 5, by these two. Well, the 2 that's in there and the 2 that's in there. So there's no 2 in my 17 cage, and my 17 cage is now made up of 1, 9, 3, 4. Which means that, what does that mean? I don't know. So there's no 1 in here, and whatever I put in my 10 cage is either 3, 6, which would rule 3 out of here. So the minimum I could make this add up to would be 2, 4, 2, 4, 5, and 6. That's too many. This is really clever. Is this why it's called pinch yourself? We keep having to sort of nick digits from around these cages. So this is not 1, 3, 6 because it would lock a 3 out of the 16. So this is 1, 4, 5, which means I've locked 4 out of the 16, but hopefully that's not terminal because I can go 2, 3, 5, 6, and that does add up to 16. Yes, okay, so there we go. We've finally worked out what's going on. And okay, what does that mean in terms of anything else? Does that mean something for the digit? Oh, we might have been able to do this a different way. Sorry if this is the case. 16, 33, 43, 45. These 6 cells here, because if we think about the secret, we know both of these columns individually must sum to 45. So together they add up to 90. And the cages plus the 2 there, these 2 by 2s, sum to 45. So these red squares sum to 45, but we can only use 1 9 in them. So we know there's a 9 here. So one of these could be a 9, 7, 8 triple, which would be 24. And the other one couldn't use a 9, and that's going to have to be 6, 7, and 8, adding up to 21 to make 45. Right. So that means these digits round the edge. Oh, no, I don't quite know. Well, I know each column needs a... Oh, this is useless. This isn't doing anything, I think, beyond what we've already done. I know there's a 7 in each of these strings, but I knew that before I did any of this maths. So this was all a red herring, sorry. Okay. So what does that mean? That means that... I haven't got a clue what it means, to be honest. Does that mean we can turn our attention back to these cages now? Now I know this is 1, 4, 5. Does that affect what I can do here? Ah! Yes, it might do, because we worked out, didn't we, that this couldn't be 1, 2, 6. But if this is 1, 3, 5 now, 2 digits are in common with this 10 cage. So this cage, so if this is 1, 3, 5 and 9, now this cage, no, that doesn't work. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Because the reason it doesn't work is, let's think about the ways we can make 10 in 3 digits. One way would be to include a 1 in the sum somehow. It could be like 1, 4, 5, 1, 3, 6, 1, 2, 7, various ways. But we know if we're going with this route of 1, 3, 5, we cannot include a third 1 in these 2 rows. So that's never going to work. Now, the moment you don't include a 1 and you're trying to add 3 different digits to make 10 in a Sudoku, you have to make those digits 2, 3, and 5. It's the only way it works. But we've just said, well, it's the same logic. We've got a 5 here and a 5 here. I can't include a third 5 in the two rows. So this doesn't work. This is not 1, 3, 5. It's not 1, 2, 6. So it is 2, 3, 4, and 9. Let's just see if we can tidy up some of these pencil marks now. Yes, we can. And now the digits that are not possible in this 19 cage are the digits 2 and the digits 4. So how do we make, so we must have a 1 in here. So there's definitely a 1. And then there is, whoopsie, there's definitely a 1. And now there's 2 cells summing to 9 that are not 1, 8, that are not 2, 7, and that are not 4, 5. So this is now known to be 1, 3, 6, 9. Good grief. That's very, very beautiful setting, Memrister, indeed. And, he says, what does it mean, though? It means that there is a naked single 3 in box 5, because we've got 3s up here and 3s up here. So the 3 in column 6 is in one of those 3 cells. And we've got 3s here and 3s here, so the 3 in row 6 is in one of these 3 cells, and the only cell that simultaneously fulfills those conditions is this one. So we have a little bit more progress, and we can go about our merry way again. So 9 is in one of these cells. 1 is in one of those cells. Why can't I not just fill this puzzle in? What are we not spotting about this? Oh, I know what I'm not spotting. Oh, Simon. Simon. Right. When I was looking at these digits, I worked out from the maths that we did before that one of them is a 789 triple and one of them is a 678 triple. So we don't know the order, but that could be 678 and that could be 789, or this could be 789 in some order and this could be 678. But this box has already got a 6 and a 9 in it. So this combination here cannot be selected from 6 and 9 and must be a 7-8 pair. That means we get an 8 here, look. These 2 cells have to add up to 11 without using 2, 9 or 3, 8 or 4, 7. So they're 5, 6. These 2 squares are now 1, 4 pair by Sudoku. Okay. This presumably matters for some reason that I can't see. What more can we do here? Do we have to have an 8 in this box? 18 plus 9. No, we don't. Okay, oh right, yeah, this one's 1 less than this one. So you don't have to have an 8 in there. There's got to be an 8 in one of these 3 cells. There probably are. Does there probably have to be an 8? Yes, there you go. Okay, what about the 26 cage here? Does that need an 8 in it? And it does, because we worked out those 3 cells sum to 10. So if I made one of these cells an 8, the other 2 digits in this triple would have to both be 1, and that will break the box. So that's an 8. Oopsie, I keep pressing the button too many times today. I'm not sure why. Oh, it's because I haven't got the pen tool turned on. Now, if that's an 8, what's that doing for the world? 7, 8 here. 6s. I'm not quite getting how to finish this off. I would say finish this off. I do feel like we should have broken the back of this with all this work we've done in the central columns and rows. What do I know? Okay, let's think about it this way. These cells have got to be 6, 7, 8 and 9. We know these are not 9. We could, by uniqueness, assert, well, we actually already knew this wasn't a 7-8 pair because one of them's a 9. Okay. I don't know what to do. We can... These 3 cells are adding up to 10. It must be it's going to be something like this that we're going to have to focus on. Is there some reason these can't be 712, for example? Oh, I know what we could do. We could go right back to the beginning. And rather than do maths on that box, I could do maths on this box. I worked out those two cells had to add up to 12. Aha! So that can't be a 1 because this can't be 11. Good grief. So there's a 1 in the 15 cage and no 9 in it. So this 15 cage must be 186 now. Which we may be able to do something with, but let's have a look. So this is 168. That's definitely not 8. So there's an 8 in this column, which means there's no... Ah! Yeah, that's nice. So there's now no 8 in my 27 cage. And if there's no 8 in my 27 cage, the only way I can get high enough is if I go 5, 6, 7 to make plus the 9 to give me the 18 I need. So this is 5, 6, 7. There's definitely a 6 in there. So the 6 in column 3 is now in one of 2 places, I'm noticing. Can't be here because there's a 5, 6 pair hidden along row 1. So now, what can we do with this? We need 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s and 8s. Not sure. No, I'm not sure. Well, these two squares are 5 and 7. That's the only way we've got left of making 12 because 9s and 8s aren't available. That gives me a... here we go. 5, 6, 7 triple in column 1, removing 6 from these cells, placing 6 here, and giving me a 1, 8 pair. 6 comes out of this domino. So now 6 must be in one of those 2 cells, which means 6 is moved down to the bottom. This is lovely, isn't it, the way these little pairs are working. 6 is now looking across here, which makes that a 5, 7 pair, and this a 6, which means there's a 6 in one of these 3 cells. 5, 7 pair here places a 5, 7 pair in box 8 in these cells, which removes 7 from there, which removes 8 from there. This is a 7, 9 pair. That seems to give us a 5 here. And does it do more than that? 6, 8. So we've got a 6, 8 pair at the bottom, which means this square's a naked single. That's got to be a 2. Okay, so this column is basically done. The bottom column is quite forced. We've only got 1s, 3s and 4s left to place in it, so let's put those in. Can we close out anything there? Maybe not. We've still got our sort of Swiss flag cross here, haven't we? Which is not really... I do not know why that's there. I'm intrigued about that. If there's a cage total here, I could still not be able to finish this puzzle, you know. If this is what's going to disambiguate the remainder and there's meant to be a cage total, that is a worrying thought. Okay, so what else can we do? How can we work out the solution even without knowing this cage? We can get rid of some pencil marks. That's what we'll start by doing. I don't see what to do here. Get rid of some more pencil marks. That's what we'll do. So this is 7, 9. Okay, so 7 is vertical in this box. Can we put 7 in the 10 cage? It would have to be accompanied by the 1, 2 pair, which that might be possible actually. Alright, let's have a look along the top row. We need lots of low digits. We haven't put lots of low digits in. Okay, that's not doing enough. 8, 5. Okay. Oh, look. 5 is also locked into a domino here. So this is a 5, 7 pair, which means this should be 2, 4 and 8. That's not 8. That places a 1 over there. It gives us an 8 here, which gives us an 8 and a 6. Aha! Is this useful? The answer is maybe. So 8 is in this domino in box 7. I've got a 5, 7 pair in this column. So this column still needs 2s, 3s and 4s into these cells. Now I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in box 1, so the remaining digits must be made up of 5, which must now be here. So 5 comes out of these cells and is placed in box 7. Come on. We're not dead yet. We're still alive in the puzzle without needing this box. 6, 7 here. Oh, yeah, hang on. Hang on, I can use this cage does have a total, so let's make sure we use it. Oh, perhaps we use the outies. These add up to 10, don't they? And this is big, so this can never be 4, because 4 plus 6 is already 10. I can't put 0 into that one. So this is 2 or 3. So if this is 6, this is 3, and this is 1. If this is 7, this is 2, so this is always 1. That's always 1, and we can get rid of 1 from that cell. And we can place 1 in box 7 now, do some tidying up of pencil marks. There's a 1 in one of these, there's a 1 in one of those 2 cells. So there is no 1 in that one. Okay, this 5 has given me a 7 here. That's fixing a 7 and a 5, which is useful perhaps for this 10 cage, which must have low digits in it again. 2, 3 and 4. So we've almost got a quadruple in box 3, but not quite. We've almost got all sorts going on in row 3 as well. Oh, we've got a 1, 4 pair there. So 1, 4. 4 is placed in box 1 now. It's the only place it can go. So this is no longer a 4. So it's it's 8 which we've not placed in box 7. And this square has a 2 or a 3. Aha! That's beautiful. If that's a 2 or a 3, this total, this domino here, which adds up to 5, can't be a 2, 3 pair. So that's got to be a 1, 4 pair. Oh, it does nothing. How? Oh, well, I suppose it gives us these digits. These have got to be 2, 3 and 7, which is going to do some tidying at least. 2, 3, 7, that's not 2. Is that all we get for that? That's really mean. I don't know. That's really strange. I thought that was just going to crack the puzzle open. 2, 3, 7. It doesn't seem to do anything. Unless we're meant to know the total of this cage. That's not 5. Look, let's get rid of that in case that reveals something important. 2, 3, 7. We actually, look how pencil marked my grid is as well. This is not like me. This is properly pencil marked. Mark would be proud of this. So this is 1, 3, 4. I've got loads of cells which are nearly restricted. And I've used up, have I, all of the... I think I've used up all of the cages with the exception of this one. So we should... Oh, there's a 5 here. Okay, so hopefully it's just going to be something Sudoku-wise from here. Nothing complicated. There's a 5 in one of those. There's a 7 in one of these. Still doesn't seem to be resolved. This column needs low digits, doesn't it? So these have to be selected from low digit. Oh, look, there's another 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple around the edge. So these squares have to be high digits, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And we can get rid of 5 from there, 6 is from here, 7's from here. This is all looking like we need this gauge total to finish it. There's a 5, 7, 8 triple there. So that means this row, which places the 8 at last. So that's an 8. This has got to be a 1, 2, 3 or 4, and it's not a 1. So the 4 is in this domino, which means those are not 4. And there's definitely a 1 over here. Oh, come on, Simon. This must be... Oh, look, there's a 1 in this domino, so that's not a 1. So I've got 2... Oh, so now where does 1 go in column 9? It's got to go here. 1, 4 go in. 4 comes out of there now. This is very discombobulating because it just looks so likely that this cage, if we knew it, would just fill the puzzle in. If I do finish this, I'm going to pause the video and find out what's going on with that cage. Now, let's just think about how we finish this off. We know those two cells sum up to 9, don't we? But they could still be 3, 6 or 2, 7, I think. 2, 3 pair there. This is very... I just can't get it out of my head that I've not been given full information. Let me... Come on, Simon. You can do this. There must be a way. Mistakes like this don't happen. Not on Cracking the Cryptic. Do they? Oh yeah, look, in this column there's a 2, 4 here, so there must be a 3 in this domino, which means that square's a 1 and that square's a 4. 3 goes in here, therefore, and that must be a 6. So I get a 1, 9 pair here. This, oh look, now that's given me a 7, 8 pair here, which fixes this is a 5. So 5 and 7 go in, 7 and 8 go in. Oh, and no, I haven't quite done this cage, but I've nearly done it. 6 goes there. 2 goes here, 4 goes here, 8 goes here. Oh, I take it all back. It does seem to be working. This has now become a 2, 3 pair, which means I can take 3 out of these because of the 2, 3 pair in that row. So I can take 4 out of these. So that's no longer a 3. And this is in fact a 2, and that cage has been resolved. Good grief. That's now 9. That's now 2. That's 9, that's 1, that's 4, that's 3, that's 2, that's 3, that's 3. This is a 2, 7 pair. Oh, and look, now this cage does have a total, and that's useful. We know those 3 add up to 10, so that's 6, that's 7, that's 7, that's 2. 2 now has to go here, using some early pencil marks, so that should be a 5. Which means that's a 5, that's a 1, 1, 3, 3, 6, 6, 8, 8, 7, 7, 9, 9, 4, that's a 4, and now we've finished the puzzle out of nowhere. What is going on? I do not know. It's beautiful. The whole logic at the start is really clever around these 2 columns and these 2 rows. I'm just going to pause the video and see if I can work out what's going on with this cage. 1 second. Okay, I now understand. So apparently an early version of this puzzle included this cage, and Mimrista decided to leave it in for the sake of posterity. So that's what this cage is doing. It was a complete red herring. I hope it didn't confuse you and didn't discombobulate you as much as it discombobulated me, but it's a great puzzle anyway. And thanks so much for watching, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.